Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome to what is going to be a new series on the channel. My friend Caleb had asked me to go and do a couple of resort tours because not everybody gets a chance to come down here and see all the resorts the way that we do. So I thought I'd start with a real simple one right here on the Monorail Loop. We're going to start with a Contemporary Resort, one of the original resorts here on property. Contemporary has been here since opening day, which was October 1st, 1971. And while it is located on the monorail line, obviously a lot of people know that because when you get on at the TTC on one of the monorails, you're going to go through the Contemporary as you make your way to Magic Kingdom. So a lot of people are familiar with it that way, but not a lot of people actually know about this path. There is a walking path just from Magic Kingdom all the way through up to the Contemporary. Which, if you're staying here on property, that's actually really convenient because, you know, sometimes those monorail lines can get backed up or if occasionally, like if there's a thunderstorm or something, the monorail will go down. And it's kind of nice to be able to just jaunt right over. This isn't too long of a walking path. According to Google Maps, it's just under a quarter mile, so not terribly difficult. You know, when you come to Magic Kingdom, you're going to be doing a lot of walking anyway, so at the end of the day, that's really not too much to add. And if you're all peopled out by the time you're ready to go back to the resort, this could be a nice option. I do want to take a second to say thank you to Park Hopper Chopper. They have been so supportive through Sarah's ankle injury. I do not have enough nice things to say about Chris and Mary. They have been fantastic. If you or anybody you know is coming to the Orlando area for vacation and has an accessibility issue, please look up Park Hopper Choppers. Their information will be down in the description. They're not sponsors of this channel. I don't get any kickbacks or anything like that. They're just awesome people, and we really want to throw our support behind them any chance we can. And since we're talking about small businesses, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe to our channel. We actually moved to Central Florida specifically to be able to do this channel. Sarah got a job down here and we thought, you know what, let's give it a try. We've always been Disney adults. We love Disney cruises. We actually got engaged on the Disney Dream. So it just kind of made sense to come down and start doing this ourselves. So up here on the right, you're actually going to see a guard shack, and if you decide to take the walk from the Contemporary into Magic Kingdom, this is where you will go through security. So most everybody else goes through it up at the TTC. If you come from the Contemporary and walk over this way, this is where you'll do it instead. And if you decide to take the monorail from the Contemporary, there's a security station in there that we'll show you here in a little bit. If you have never been down here to Walt Disney World before, there are a ton of options for transportation on property. Every Disney destination, so any of the resorts, any of the parks, or Disney Springs, are all going to have these beautiful Disney buses with characters on them. These buses are free to use because they're on-property transportation, and they'll be able to get you anywhere you need to go. Now, that being said, in order to get into property, you are going to have to book an outside service in order to be able to get down here if you don't have a car or you haven't rented one. Now, we cannot talk about Disney transportation without talking about the most recognizable form of Disney transportation, which is the monorail. The monorail is divided into two separate loops. You have the Magic Kingdom loop and the Epcot loop. On the Magic Kingdom loop, you have the Transportation and Ticket Center, Magic Kingdom, the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, and the Contemporary Resort. On the Epcot loop, it's just Transportation and Ticket Center and Epcot. Those are the only two stops on that line. It can be a little confusing, though, because the Magic Kingdom loop has two separate train lines. One that is an express monorail line and one that is a resort monorail line. The express monorail line only goes from the Transportation and Ticket Center to Magic Kingdom. That's it. The resort line stops at all the stops. So off on the left, you'll see the Bay Lake Tower at the Contemporary Resort. The Bay Lake Tower is part of the Disney Vacation Club, or DVC program, which is Disney's timeshare program. You can purchase points through the program, then use them at certain Disney resorts, Disney cruises, or Adventures by Disney destinations. The other nice part about DVC membership is that it is a deeded real estate interest, so you are able to pass it along to your family down the line. If you are interested in DVC, I would recommend that you get into it sooner rather than later, so that you can lock down your rate moving forward. Unfortunately, there was an event going on today, so I wasn't able to get any footage of the Bay Lake Tower, but hopefully we'll stop in soon. As we are coming up to the bus stop here, the other nice thing about the buses on property is that they are accessible. They have a ramp that folds out of the side of the bus to be able to take in wheelchairs and ECVs. The bus driver will assist anyone with a mobility issue onto the bus and make sure that they are buckled in before letting on the rest of the passengers. These buses usually will cycle through about every 10 to 15 minutes, so you won't have to wait very long to get going. Alright, so we finally made it to the Contemporary Resort. I'm going to zig off to the left here, and we're going to follow this parking lot and get past this service entrance so that we can show you the grounds first, and then we'll go inside and do all the rest of it at the end. Ordinarily, if you were trying to get into the resort, you would continue through the bus stop and through the glass sliding door into the resort, but we're going to go around back and start with the grounds on property first. So like I said earlier, there was some sort of event or training or something going on when I was here today. There is also some of this lovely construction, as you can see by the signs. But if you see that big group of red, they're all lifeguards up there on the left. If you follow that path, that direction, you'll be able to go over and see the Bay Cove pool and the Cove Bar and the fire pit and the play area that all goes along with the Bay Lake Tower. That is a separate area from the Contemporary, but it's all still part of the same. It's kind of weird how they have it set up. It's all part of the same resort, but a separate resort experience at the same time. Speaking of fire pits, here is a fire pit at the Contemporary right here on our left. Although Disney calls it a campfire, not a fire pit. Also on the left, where all these blue chairs are and this trash can is, that's going to be the designated smoking area. There are a handful of them around property, but this is just one of the ones around here. So if you are traveling with someone who is a smoker, this is where they'll have to go to do that. As we continue past this little botanical section here, we're coming up on the Sandbar, which is just a quick service joint. It does like hot dogs, burgers, a couple of basic bar beverages, adult beverages, that kind of thing. But it is out here. Usually this is going to be a little more popular on, I don't know, a warmer day. But considering it's like 50 degrees outside and we're all bundled up, not a lot of people out by the pool today, so it's kind of dead. There are women's and men's locker rooms out here for you if you need to change or use the restroom. There's also these lockers off to the side. You can use those. And then there are like lifeguard facilities in this little building too. Out here, they have cornhole set up. There's also a pool table out here on the left. There's like patio tables so you can sit and enjoy the view. Foosball, and then of course the dock, so you can head out and enjoy looking at the boats and stuff. As I turn around here, you'll see the boat hook off in that corner there on the right hand side. The Boat Hook Marina is actually the name of the entire marina, so there's obviously a lot of boat traffic that comes in and out. But what you can do while you're at the Contemporary, you can book guided fishing excursions to go out bass fishing. So if that's your kind of thing, you can do either a 2 or a 4-hour excursion. And with that, you get an experienced guide, the rod and reel, your tackle, any bait that you want, either artificial or live. And then they also give you some Coca-Colas. So there are some restrictions on like how many people you can have and that kind of thing. But if you're interested, check it out. So since I'm not staying at the Contemporary, I can't actually get into the pool to give you the full tour. But here's the little splash pad area on the outside of the locked gate. There's a gate off to the left, and then there's one off on the other side where this big slide drops you into. But definitely a cool little pool. It's enough for vacation. I mean, really, you're at Walt Disney World. Are you really here for the pool? If you want a pool, go to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach, because we also have water parks here. So if you are interested in trying any of the water parks here at Walt Disney World, first off, only one of them will be open at a time. They are on a 6-month rotation. So we have Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach. Here's that other gate that I was talking about. You can kind of see the pool there. But Disney does have a water park benefit going on for all of the year 2025. And basically that means that if you are going to be staying at a Disney Resort hotel, you can get into the water park for free on your check-in day. You can go directly to the water park on your resort check-in day, just use your Magic Band Plus, and you can go right in. If you have luggage, they don't recommend that you bring any of the luggage to the park because they don't have anywhere to store it. So you can store your luggage at your resort, or you can put it in, you can rent a locker and put it in a locker. But that's kind of a cool benefit if you're coming in for a vacation, because you can kind of get started without having to use a whole ticket day for, you know, what could end up being like 3 or 4 hours. The other nice thing about that is you don't actually have to have been checked into your hotel room. You, as long as it is your check-in day, whether your room is ready or not, you can go to the water park. So if you want to do that and your room is not ready, you can just leave your luggage at Bell Services and they'll watch over it for you until you come back. So these buildings up here on the right, this is the South Garden Wing, which is an expansion to the Contemporary. They were added in 1973. These buildings are totally separate. You kind of have to get to them through some walkways and such. But they can be a really nice option if you're looking for kind of a more quiet, standard hotel experience. Not that the Contemporary is noisy, but like the atrium of the Contemporary has a lot of traffic that goes through it. I mean, there's literally a monorail that runs through the building. There's kids screaming, there's a lot of echo, that kind of thing. So if you're looking for a quiet, secluded room that has like a nice lake view, the South Garden Wing is a nice option for that. You can see all those cranes off there on the left-hand side. That's going to be where the new Disney Lakeshore Lodge will be. It's going to be another DVC resort here at Walt Disney World, and it's going to be between Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness Resort. That's not supposed to open until 2027. That resort was originally announced in 2018 and was going to be called Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge. But with COVID and Bob Chapek and all those kind of changes, it got put on hold, and now it's finally come back as the Disney Lakeshore Lodge. So, a little Disney trivia there for you. It's really interesting to me to think that, like, Walt Disney World is one of the busiest places on the planet. It is so jam-packed with people and has hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. And yet here we are at the end of the Contemporary property, and we're the only ones around. There is no one else. It's just empty and quiet. And that's kind of cool. One of my, I don't know if it's unreasonable or reasonable or lofty, but one of my dreams or goals in life is to actually be able to be in Magic Kingdom after everybody has left and just be standing on an empty main street with all the lights on. I would love to do that. If you are a Disney cast member and could make that happen for me, hit me up. One of the other forms of transportation on property are the water taxis. They use 4 separate routes to get around the Bay Lake area. You can tell which boat is assigned to which route by that small flag on the front of the boat. In this case, it's red, so this boat is going from Wilderness Lodge to Magic Kingdom. If you are staying in one of the resorts that is in the Bay Lake area, oftentimes that can be a lot less crowded and a great way to get around. So that little blue sign with Mickey Mouse running on it tells you that this path that we're following is actually part of the running trail here at the Contemporary. Disney has been so kind as to lay out a path that is approximately 1.3-ish miles long around the Contemporary and the Bay Lake Towers. So if you are a person who enjoys running on your vacation, or if you are in training for your next Disney Marathon, there are these signs on the pathways that will keep you pointed in the right direction. There is also the Olympiad Fitness Center, which is complimentary to guests, and you can find that on the 3rd floor of the Contemporary Tower. We're going to go ahead and pause here for a second to take in the beauty of this monorail before we cut back to the other side of the building and head inside. This pathway actually brought us back around to where we started. So the pool is off on the right-hand side here, and we're gonna go through this little tunnel, follow this awning, and head down to the main, well, it's the back entrance, and head into the lobby. Alright, so as we cut through these sliding glass doors and into the lobby, as you come out the other side and look to the right, you're going to see Steakhouse 71. Now, Steakhouse 71 is a casual dining experience that is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Drawing inspiration from the year that Walt Disney World opened, the restaurant is decorated in a 70s style and has tons of art from the construction process on the walls. It is recommended that you use your My Disney Experience app to get a dining reservation before you arrive, as it is frequently quite busy, but you can also join the walk-up list as well. Sarah, Molly, and I ate here recently, and we had the Stack Burger, which was delicious. As we head toward the front desk, we have a seating area on the left with Bluey on for the kids, and on the right, in case your room isn't quite ready yet when you arrive. Disney has streamlined the check-in process, so most of the time you're not even going to have to come to the front desk during your trip, but it's still always a good idea to know where it is. Off on the right, you'll see Bell Services, which is where you can store your luggage at the beginning or the end of your trip. They also can transfer your luggage from one resort to another. There is a door on the right just past this planter that leads back out to the bus stop as well. Over here, you will see the in-house coffee shop Contemporary Grounds and the first floor walkway to the convention center. Contemporary Grounds does serve Joffrey's coffee and has an assortment of snacks available as well. And then continuing our loop past the construction barricades leads us to the elevator banks, where we're going to be heading up to the second floor. The second floor of the Contemporary Tower is entirely made up of meeting spaces for the convention center, as well as access to the California Grill, which is up on the 15th floor. There are 2 ballrooms in the main building of the Contemporary, and the first is this one here on our right. It's called the Ballroom of the Americas and is the site of Richard Nixon's famous "I am not a crook" speech in 1973. Now, all of these people standing around are waiting for the check-in desk for the California Grill. This is a fine dining restaurant that is open for dinner and has sweeping views of Seven Seas Lagoon and the Magic Kingdom. This is one of the best dining fireworks experiences you can find on property. If you're able to book it and it's not totally locked out, you'll check in for dinner here on the second floor and then take a private elevator up when you're ready to be seated. The other ballroom located in the main building is going to be the Grand Republic Ballroom, which is here on the right. It can be configured into 5 separate rooms depending on need, or can be used as one large room with 8,700 square feet of space. On the left are the Atlantic rooms, which offer a more conservative space of only 745 square feet. So not all the spaces at the convention center are these massive rooms. They also have some smaller rooms for smaller needs. On the left, we have the boardroom, which comes in around 1,300 square feet, and the Pacific Room, which is around 700. So if you're looking for a space for a meeting while you're in town, the convention center can certainly help you out with that. So we're going to take the escalators downstairs to the first floor here, but if you were to continue forward, you'd be able to find an elevator down on the left. As we get to the bottom of the escalators and turn left down this hallway, we will find the Sorcerer's Apprentice Ballroom. It has approximately 7,000 square feet of space and can be divided into 3 separate rooms. The convention center at the Contemporary Resort is made up of over 115,000 square feet of meeting and event space, with a wide variety of rooms being flexible in size. But the biggest ballroom at the Contemporary Resort is going to be the Fantasia Ballroom at 42,000 square feet. It is so large that it can be divided into up to 15 different rooms at once if need be. You can get to the Fantasia Ballroom or its pieces and parts from all 3 wings on the first floor. We are now in the Fantasia lobby, which is the main entrance to the convention center. It is home to the Olympus rooms and both the east and west registration desks, as well as has restrooms and a business center. So if you're in the Sorcerer's Apprentice lobby, you can access Fantasia A through F. If you're in the Fantasia lobby, you have access to Fantasia G, H, and J. And if you go down this final wing across from the pastoral rooms, you can get access to Fantasia K through Q. And passing the West Rotunda in the final wing of the building, we will have the 3 pastoral rooms, each giving about 650 square feet of space. Alright, now let's turn around and we're going to head back to the elevators and up to the 4th floor of the Contemporary Tower. As we sail past the Disney Wish real quick, we're going to turn right and head toward the Outer Rim Lounge, Contempo Cafe, and Chef Mickey's. Outer Rim Lounge is going to be a cocktail bar, Contempo Cafe is a quick service restaurant that's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and Chef Mickey's is a character dining buffet that is open for breakfast and dinner. As we spin around and head toward the gift shops, you'll find a DVC desk on the right. You can stop in here for more information about the program if my basic skim over wasn't enough. We're going to start our gift shop tour in Bayview Gifts. BVG is more focused on adult apparel, jewelry, artwork, and housewares. BVG is going to be a great place to stop if you're looking for a Loungefly, a Spirit jersey, or any of the ears. We are going to duck out this door and across to Fantasia. Now, this shop is more focused on what the kiddos need in their lives, which is, of course, toys. You can find all the latest merch in this shop related to pins, puzzles, princesses, and plushies. I am really proud of that alliteration there. So yeah, if you just stop in here, this is really going to be your basic Disney. When you think of Disney merchandise, this is the store you're thinking of in your head. If you head out the back door of Fantasia, you will see the Fantasia Market. This shop is going to have some merchandise, but is mainly focused on being your resort convenience store. If you're looking for snacks, drinks, or forgot to pack diapers, this is going to be where you will go. They do sell magic bands here and have a frozen section at the back with things like pizza and ice cream, but that's pretty much it. Directly ahead of us, you will see the security checkpoint for the monorail. You can hop on the resort monorail loop from within the Contemporary Resort, but you already knew that from earlier in our video. If Wreck-It Ralph is your favorite Disney movie, then the Game Station will be on your must-visit list. This arcade was recently renovated and is back with new games for all ages. If you want to join in the fun, you can purchase a game card with credits just inside that front door there. They have all sorts of classic games like Skee-Ball and Pac-Man, as well as racing simulators and basketball games. If that's not your jam though, they do have massage chairs that are also available for a price. Alright friends, well, I'm so glad that you've decided to join me on this tour of the Contemporary Resort and Convention Center. If you liked this style of video, I already have planned on a tour of the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian Resort as well. But please let me know in the comments which resorts you are interested in seeing in the future. If you haven't yet, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. And if you are looking to plan a Disney vacation, check out our website, magicandthemurphys.com. We offer travel agent services for all Disney destinations at no charge to you. For now, I'm going to hop on the monorail and head on home. So as always, we'll see you real soon.